if you're an organization or if you're an SI partner supporting AMS, doing those managed services for a customer, instead of manually scripting tests, maintaining them quarter after quarter or month to month and hoping that they cover enough, you have AI agents, right, that can do discovery of real business processes in your application, generate those test scripts, also self heal when the UI changes. I mean, we have customers all the time. I think this is the biggest, kind of breaking point with automated testing and any kind of test automation that folks are trying to do. Those things break immediately if or typically when you make some kind of UI change where you make a field required that wasn't required previously. And these are changes that happen on the fly, right? You might get a request from the business for one reason or another to make these changes to the UI UX. Those don't always get the rigorous updates and attention that they need, and so you don't find out until a week or two, a month later, when you're preparing for that core release cycle, that now your regression testing is broken because of that simple UI change, right? So with tools like Opkey's test agent, right, we can self heal with that UI change, and without skipping a beat, you've already got a working regression test, even though you've made some changes to the UI UX. So allows you, right, to focusing on effort, or focusing that effort on what actually changed, not just rerunning everything from scratch. So going back again to kind of the work that partners are doing for customers, right? For a partner, this means your team is not spending 2/3 of their time of a release cycle on regression testing, right? They're spending time with the customer, with the folks that are boots on the ground using the application, working on those exceptions, right? The edge cases, the things that actually materially matter to the business, and that also require human judgment and kind of that strategic lens that most consultants are eager to provide to their customers. And then lastly, George, I mean, third, documentation and training become living artifacts, right? Talk about, again, these change management materials, these user guides, training aids, job aids. These things get built as part of the initial implementation. But again, they go on a shelf, they get put out as part of user acceptance testing. But more often than not, within a quarter or certainly within a year or so, those user guides become a bit obsolete or they become incorrect because there have been some changes to either the approval workflows, there's been changes to the UI UX. We talked about various fields that might get added or changed. And those user guides, right? Somebody has to go and update them in a normal, conventional way. But with automation, this becomes a non-factor, right? You have a training agent, you have a capability that's AI driven that can update and self-heal those user guides in the same manner that we're talking about with the test scenario updates, right? So users can adapt to change faster because the guidance that goes along with it is always current.